welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report. It's PWR Reaction.
Is that what it is?
Damian Nelson sitting here alongside David Octavius, the Tiberius the Alleged Backyard, one-time knockout, Baron Von Raschke.
Yeah, he's the AWA legend. That's all the people need to know. The Claw.
Hall of Famer, hero, and thank you for joining us here on the premiere edition of Reaction.
Yes, we're back.
If you hadn't, your gimmickry, it's like every show here, you opt, while we're live, all over the world, to have some rib that you're running.
I love ribs.
It's usually the audio.
Now what did I do?
Where's the graphic?
That was an accident. I didn't think you. I swear to God, I didn't think you were gonna notice.
I didn't notice. Senior intern Cal just said he'd sending me red flags up there saying that we don't have a graphic. We gotta start over. And why is my light blue and yours red?
Little Boy Blue?
And the Man on the Moon?
Yeah, that could be. Or he needed the money, one of the two.
We are live here Tuesday, March 24th, 2020. Coming off the heels of last night's PWR Prime Time and also WWE Raw. Another interesting studio.
Are you gonna fix that?
Show. We're live, pal.
Oh, it's professional. It looks terrible. Go to a commercial or something and fix that.
Why? We don't have commercials in this particular broadcast. Reaction.
I think Linda did it.
Linda?
Yeah.
I don't think she did. I mean, she's not even here. She's at her residence in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
As you see. Hi,
Oh,
Linda.
hey!
Hi guys.
Social media diva. Well, what is
I'm
this
back.
show? What is Reaction? Well, it's all about you fans. As you know, we're live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays with PWR Primetime Live, but we're also live here Tuesdays and Thursdays with Reaction Live, where you can join us and be a part of the conversation. And we'll take your tweets, your comments on YouTube, your Facebook comments. Hashtag PWR Live. Hashtag PWR Live, as you see up on the top of your screen, is the way to participate. Ask us anything, folks. Hashtag PWR Live, and we will share with you.
Not anything. Some stuff is not I don't want to talk about.
What, like what?
Well, for
This
this,
is like
first of all,
what's his name, that Mauro Ranallo cam. You know when he's reacting.
Oh,
doing
yeah, the
commentary,
Mamma
the
Mia
GoPro
guy.
on there.
yeah,
What?
the Mamma Mia guy.
Mamma Mia, yes.
Yeah.
There's David Hero
Hey,
right
that's
there.
me.
Yes. You look a little washed out.
I've been stuck in my house forever.
It's all about you folks, and we're pleased and honored to be with you yet on another night here on Fight TV. If you've watched the show in the past, you remember Feedback Friday, as you used to call it, Fish Fry Friday. Well, that was our interactive show.
That was a
and,
very stressful show for me.
We didn't want to lock ourselves into just Friday nights. We wanted to give you the opportunity to interact with us live. And we are live on Fight TV. We're live on YouTube, where you can subscribe to us. Just click on the subscribe button right on the YouTube screen there. And also turn on your notifications. You never know when we're going to go live. There could be breaking news. There could be a lot of broadcasting during Wrestlemania weekend.
Well, there's a
All
lot of
these
stuff
things.
going on right now.
There's a lot going on right now as well. So turn on those notifications. Subscribe to us on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook Live, go ahead and hit that like button, like our page on Facebook, and you'll get the opportunity to always be notified of the latest goings on in the pro wrestling world. And if you're watching on Twitter, where we are also live here Tuesday night, be sure to follow at PWR360. You can also follow me at Damian Nelson and that guy at David Hero as well.
There's 2 R's.
Why are there 2 R's?
Because that's how it's spelled.
But why is it spelled that way?
Well, that's what the birth certificate
What
says.
happened? I'm not going there. Big thanks to Ken Anderson for joining us last night on
Yes.
Primetime Live. Again, if you are interested in becoming a professional wrestler, once this is all said and done, there's 2 ways to get a hold of the Academy up in Minneapolis, Minnesota. That is the academyprowrestling.com. And also you can text or call to 507-227-2776. So with that, let's get right down to it. I think Linda is chomping at the bit. She's
Yeah.
loud over there. What's going on? Are you okay, Linda?
I'm good. I'm really good.
When
smile on
she's
her
off
face.
camera.
What was she doing? Whoa!
What's happening behind that lower third there? Either as it may, it's time to get to your comments, and several of you, since we announced the program last night live on PWR Primetime Live, you've submitted your questions, your comments, but there is a payoff, a money shot, if you will, David Hero, On Thursday's edition of Reaction, I understand another little segment that some people may have thought was mildly enjoyable at times is returning to the broadcast.
Well, it's the one gimmick everybody loves. It's what everybody.
Ed?
Well, besides that, it's another 4-letter gimmick. It's the DWHS. David
Oh,
Hero
hell.
has spoken.
Who let that in? It's like I'd rather let the dogs out than let that in.
But that is the most
The most what?
real, gospel-like spoken word you're ever gonna hear.
It's your form to hate small wrestlers.
No, it's not gonna be about Ricochet.
You see what he did there, folks, is he just trumped you. Didn't have any facts to share, so
Whoa,
he just
whoa, whoa.
repeated what he said before.
Ricochet is a fabulous wrestler. He's a fabulous guy. He's got fabulous
I
friends.
said it's a form you use to bury small guys, and then you said it's not always about Ricochet. What
No.
implication was that?
I wanted to give an example, an analogy to everybody out there.
I ask frequently. We're live. Where
I can't
is
say
your
Hornswoggle. He hasn't been on TV in years.
Oh God! And what I mean when I say I can't even.
What?
Look, before we get to Linda, all right, with the comments, we've got a couple of things to ask of you here tonight and get your interaction, because the questions we ask of you tonight are going to be reviewed on Thursday with your responses, not only during the live broadcast here tonight, but also on Thursday's edition of Reaction. So got an opportunity and a reason to tune in on both Tuesdays and Thursdays to Reaction. And again, 5 nights a week, Pro Wrestling Report live. However you're watching us now is however you can watch us then. So first, David Hero, question.
Yeah.
And we talked about this, and it happens tonight. The Dark Side of the Ring, Season 2
Yes.
on Vice TV is going to be debuting with Part 2, I
Part two
believe,
of Chris
the
Benoit.
Chris Benoit special. If you didn't get a chance to take a look at Dark Side of the Ring last season, they had a unbiased and a real look into a lot of things that happened in the past in professional wrestling, including Bruiser Brody. Great episode there.
Macho Man.
Macho Man.
Montreal Screwjob.
Gino Hernandez.
Dino
Some
Bravo.
really, really good
The
stuff.
Von Erichs.
The stories that WWE will never tell you in their propaganda programming is covered differently in this Vice programming. And Dark Side of the Ring Part 2 launches tonight with Chris Benoit Part 2. But David, you had a chance to check out Part 1, which I've not yet watched, which was released early on YouTube. What were your thoughts and what was your feeling coming out of that episode?
I thought it was going really well. Like, it was a real good flow to the show. Then all of a sudden, at one point, it's just like right in the face, and you got really emotional.
Really?
I don't want to
At
spoil
what point?
it.
Most people have seen it.
It's probably about 3/4 through. You know, when the whole Eddie Guerrero incident happens, where he dies, and how Chris Benoit reacts to it and handles it.
Yeah.
It was deep. It was harsh, and it was very emotional.
Dark Side of the Ring Part 2, Chris Benoit, again, Part 1 available on YouTube, much like we are live right now on YouTube. And, well, I'm looking forward to watching it. I thought it was a really, really good series. Chris Jericho narrates it. They've got stars on, including Jim Cornette, who obviously always has a very insightful and in-depth look at these things. And it should be a good show. Share your thoughts with us. We want to hear what you thought of Dark Side of the Ring. Tomorrow, on Thursday's edition of Reaction.
You know, and speaking of Dark Side of the Ring, Collar and Elbow just came out with a Dark Side of the Ring themed shirt.
Is that right?
Yeah, so go to collarandelbowbrand.com, check it out. It just got dropped with all the other new shirts for the spring Wrestlemania season. Use promo code OVWPWR.
OVWPWR.
Yes, Ohio Valley Wrestling Pro Wrestling Report.
OVWPWR.
Yes, and you get some free shipping.
In fact, as we announced last night on Primetime Live, 3 superfans, the top commenters during our primetime broadcast. We'll have more on Wednesday from Monday's broadcast, but 3 people were announced as winners of a prize pack, including a PWR t-shirt and more, just by simply engaging and interacting with us during the episodes of Prime Time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And speaking of interacting with us, let's now go to Linda Kay. Linda is aggregating all of the social media comments, and she has the comments for us, and she picks them. We don't see them,
Of course.
before she gives them to us.
Fantastic. Socially irritate us.
God, why are you so ornery?
Because I know how this goes. I
Well,
know how this
you
goes.
see, there's the hatred.
You know,
There's the hatred already. What do you mean you know how this goes?
Because it's comments and innuendo that is meant to poke the bear.
This is the fan show. We do this for the fans. We are bringing this to the fans. We are here for the fans. We are here because of the fans. And I'd like you to take your number 2 pencil, take the pink part of it on the end, and erase the hate. Erase the hate.
Okay.
Erase the hate.
I heard you.
Linda, I mean, first of all, how are you tonight?
I'm doing #tremendous.
Ah.
Despite what Dave just said about me, but that's all right. I'll be good.
So
I'm here
you've
for the
been
fans,
quarantined now
so-
for what, like 13 days, right, Linda?
What was that?
You've been quarantined for 13 days?
It's been 13, 14, yes. It's
Amazing.
I'm trucking along, guys. Trucking along.
What are you getting at, Dave?
Nothing.
Everything you say means 14 things. So what was the purpose of that question? Everybody's quarantined.
I mean,
Look, we're even separated now. We got one Linda apart.
We got Linda in the middle.
Linda, what's the flavor of the comments we have for this week, so that we can cleanse or please his palate a little bit before we get into the nuts, if you will, of this episode.
I mean, we've got a lot of discussion topics, some ideas of what can be done with Wrestlemania, and your opinions on 2 WWE stars that haven't really been in the limelight lately, and we'll continue on with the conversation at that point.
Is that okay with you?
Sure. Go ahead.
You're so hateful, so full of hate. Linda, hit us with your best shot. Fire away.
Okay. All right. Thank you. I love Pat Benatar. All right. First, we've got the variety vendor via YouTube saying, I got a question for you guys. What do you think of the following for WrestleMania? Number 1, have the fans vote on 2 WrestleMania matches to air on the show 2 nights, 1 each. Or have the WrestleMania show be up to 3 hours each. Or have a giant screen facing the hard camera with people in multiple screens, like the biggest conference call ever, showing their reactions. Also interacting with the fans between matches, and of course the calls would be screened prior to the show, just to make sure it goes smoothly with all the connections and everything. We would like to know your thoughts on it, even ... David Hero.
Well, I highly doubt they're going to have live phone calls going into a pay-per-view theme.
Well, they need some noise. That's what you said on
But
Primetime Live
that would
last
be
night.
obnoxious noise. And it's too risky. You can't trust people to make good phone calls in questions and comments. You'll get the Jerky Boys prank calling them or something. You know what I mean?
Are they still a thing?
I don't know, but
It's like crank anchors.
or Meathead could do something like that. You never know. As far as voting, yeah, that's kind of like that Taboo Tuesday show they did, right?
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
That was here.
Yeah, that was
2004.
in Milwaukee. And the third one is having like a conference call. What they
Innovative.
where they Skype in fans to watch it. Is that what it is?
Yes. You could have just a big LED screen around the virtual arena.
And
actually, my gosh,
hold on.
that's a tremendous idea.
It's not a
That is,
terrible
and
idea,
think
but
about it,
here's
just
the
like
problem.
WrestleMania 30. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go ahead.
You gotta hope everyone's watching the show.
What do you mean?
Well, because if they're gonna be like on these big screens, they might be eating nachos or texting on their
Oh,
phone.
that's the greatest. That's what's great about it.
That means they're not paying attention to the show.
I think if given the opportunity, remember when you were a fan, given the opportunity to be that person, to be one of the 10, however many people that are on these screens surrounding the ring, and you are the audience, they even got your audio piped in. So risky. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
So risky. But
Imagine
a virtual audience
imagine
is a
giving-
brilliant idea.
Imagine giving Drew Bay a live mic,
We do that on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
but not when he's full of Casamigos.
What's that?
That
Kinda
tequila
chip?
gimmick.
Dos Equis?
That's a beer. Don't say the other one. It causes a panic.
Prefer the light
That's a
version
good
anyways. I think, variety vendor, I think this is a great idea. Actually, I'd never thought about it. You take a screen like this, one with something on it, because the co-host didn't gimmick it. And you just have squares of people. And you just line the exterior of the arena with that. That's your audience.
How do you
That's
choose?
brilliant.
How do you choose?
And they'll figure that out. They got people.
Okay.
Maybe
That-
you have to
Variety vendor, good call.
contractually
Good call.
obligate people, like you'll get paid this certain amount and get them on contract. Just kind of like those who know the endings to like The Bachelor or to American Idol. You know what I mean?
You're right. It's gonna take a lot of people, but put it on delay. Who cares? It's not live. Put it on like a
Yeah.
30-second delay or whatever, and you can control if somebody gets out of hand. It's almost like, think about it, and this is where you're very right, Dave. It's like going to the Hall of Fame, and there's that jackass who has to, at the most inopportune time, try to get themselves over. That will happen.
Yeah, like the jabroni that jumped on Bret Hart.
Yes, but I mean,
I
even
know.
just with their
it's
words.
like when there's
they
the
do it too.
long pause in a speech, and then someone will say something inappropriate.
Yeah.
Something meatheadish.
Variety vendor, and that was submitted to us by YouTube, I believe. Thank you very much. I think it's actually a brilliant idea, and you will get all the credit in the world if that's what happens next weekend at Wrestlemania.
Why do you call it Wrestlemania?
I'm calling it Wrestlemania.
Why?
Why not? I'm from the South.
Oh, South Milwaukee.
No. Thank you, Variety vendor. Linda, what else we got?
All right, now we have Sean Miller via Facebook, who wants your opinions on Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins. Do you think they're better off in All Elite Wrestling? Also, does anyone believe AJ Styles could lose to Undertaker, and why?
Well, let's talk about AJ and Undertaker. He absolutely could lose to the Undertaker. The Undertaker is the Undertaker. He's the dead man. You know, and the only thing that's very kabuki-ish about that is AJ still has not gotten his heat back on the Undertaker from what happened in Saudi Arabia.
Maybe he has.
Well, we haven't seen it yet.
We have. Maybe we will see it on Friday.
Oh, maybe. But I mean, I can't imagine Undertaker doing a job in an empty warehouse. I'm serious.
I think it's probably beneficial.
AJ has had more experience in bingo halls working for TNA and Ring of Honor than Undertaker does.
I think it's probably beneficial to take away the element of the fact that there won't be an audience there, and not let that cause us to judge what we think is going to happen as a result of
But
that.
a lot of finishes to matches are done to get a reaction.
Yeah, like what we saw this past Sunday on WrestleMania 30 at the Superdome. If you didn't have the fans there, the Undertaker streak ending,
Meant
and those
nothing.
amazing reactions. By
All
the way,
those
I
facials.
love that moment being there live because they actually did it and took a chance.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing the fan reactions, that made that moment that much better. So you're
Absolutely.
right in that regard. And of course, since I said he's right, he's got nothing else to say.
Well,
As far
I'm on a
as
high note.
as far as Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins, do I think they'll be better off in All Elite Wrestling?
Absolutely, and here's why: because Zack Ryder and
Guess
Kurt
you'll take that.
because Zack Ryder and Cody Rhodes are buddies. They hang out together. They do a lot of
Big
stuff
theme
together.
park fans, both.
Yes, and you know they would be a great fit. Right now, they're beardless.
The things you notice and the things you don't, like this monitor being out.
My
Fascinating.
back is turned to it. How would I see that's behind me?
Thank you very much for that comment. I believe that was Sean Miller on Facebook, Linda.
Yes, it was.
Do you realize we're
You
live?
got it.
Worldwide?
We're not taping
People in
this
the
one?
UK are watching us. People in Japan
So
are
we're on a
watching
show
us.
live with
People
a
in
bummed-out
Australia
screen?
are watching us. Yes, we
I thought
are.
you would have fixed that in post or something.
There is no post when you're live.
Does it say live on the
Gosh,
screen
will you
anywhere?
just stop?
Oh,
Will
it
you
does say
stop? Linda, next please.
All right, next we've got this podcast via YouTube saying, one of the great teams that inspired me to be on here and do what I'm doing almost 7 years strong now. Thank you so much for coming back. Talking about PWR. Chaos in the world aside, this pro wrestling climate really needed a team like you guys to come back and be a beacon of hope and truth to the casual and hardcore fan. I'd say it's even tremendous.
There
Guys,
it
your
is.
thoughts?
Well,
Feedback?
thank you, and congratulations not to us but to you on your podcast. And you know, David, it's one thing has been very true. You know, we started this show in 1998, and since then, many people have branched off and done their own thing.
Yes.
And that is great. You know, I've always been a person who feels that in this field that we're in, there is no competition, and we should all be working with and complementing each other. And that is what this show has been about. That's what this show will continue to be about. That's why we're live with you here tonight. And that's why we are doing what we do for you. It's not about me. It probably, in his mind, is about him.
Of course it is.
But more importantly, it's about all of you, and that's why we're here. And thank you very much again. I think that was called the Smash This podcast. We are not afraid of putting that over as well here on our forum, because again, we are all in this together, and maybe, perhaps, you can help us with our technical difficulties with this monitor and our audio.
Cal, grab some tape and one of those posters. That'll fix it, right?
I think it's time now, Dave, for the open forum, and this is the open topic that is going to lead into your final answer, your final response Thursday with DWHS.
I better take notes.
Open forum. And this question goes out to all the fans out there and everybody who is watching. You're watching us here live as well. You notice we haven't necessarily shared a lot of your social comments here with us live tonight, Tuesday, because we want to save them, aggregate them, and summarize them in a proper way to deliver them and our answers to you properly on our Thursday live edition of Reaction. But we are paying attention to the hundreds of comments that are popping up here on the screen, as is Linda. But Linda, what is this week's open forum topic on Reaction?
All right, this week's topic. Has there ever been a wrestling federation that seems to over-deliver to the fans as AEW?
Interesting.
Of course.
We're not answering now. Everything I just said. You didn't hear a damn. I'm going to start calling you Junior, because you sit here like Buford T. Justice. Buford T. Justice's son.
No, I
You
know
those movies, Smokey and the Bandit?
I know that the
Junior,
DWH
first thing I'm going to do when I get home.
Take your shoes off?
That's all I can say in this day and age. So that's the open forum question. You like it?
Yeah, it works. I'll figure it out.
Well, the
I don't know
fans
the
are going to
answer.
answer, folks. Hashtag PWR Live. The question again, Linda, what was it?
Has there ever been a wrestling federation that seems to over-deliver to the fans as AEW?
Well, that's an interesting question. We want to hear your thoughts. Hashtag PWR Live. Hashtag PWR Live. That's here on YouTube, here on Facebook, here on Twitter, here on Twitch, and more importantly, here on our tremendous broadcast partner, Fight TV. That's fight.tv, where we are free every night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And is there anything I can say, David Hero, to just make you feel a little better?
The quarantine's almost over?
We just got breaking news here from the president. He expects that the country is going to be reopened, and no, it's closed, in weeks, not months. Hopefully that is indeed true.
I hope so.
We'll see what happens. But what is true is we're going to be live with you again tomorrow night with a brand new edition of the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Live. We're going to be joined tomorrow, David Hero, by our associates, Drew Bay, the man they call Meathead, and Josh Chernoff, who just yesterday had a huge announcement. He's going to be launching a podcast with one of our other guests tomorrow night, the Blue Meanie. Blue Meanie, along with Al Snow, the original Job
The
Squad.
Job Squad, yes.
Will be with us tomorrow night live on Primetime Live. So get your questions, comments in for that as well. Again, hashtag PWR Live to be a part of that huge broadcast tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What?
No, nothing. This is driving me nuts right now.
If it's driving you so nuts, why did you break it? It was working just fine when I got to the studio today. Cal did all this work. And he's working his ass off behind the camera here. We're live. You knew we were live. We can't stop a live show.
Here's what really happened.
Oh, shoot.
It was dirty, and I wanted to wipe it down, and I didn't know you can't use water on a monitor.
Did you slap it up, flip it first? Oh, my.
No.
Linda, anything else? Any more comments?
That's all that I got for today.
All right. Well, hashtag PWR Live, ladies and gentlemen. You can be with us right here on this broadcast. All new Reaction Tuesdays and Thursdays. PWR is with you now 5 times a week. Thank you for joining us here live on Facebook, YouTube, all of our social media channels, including Fight TV. Huge programming, David Hero, coming from Fight as of late. They're filling the void, truly filling the void that is left by wrestling events basically ceasing, along with the rest of the country, to a screeching halt.
Screeching.
It's fight.tv, ladies and gentlemen. For Linda Kay, that one,
This one.
I am Damian Nelson saying thank you for joining us here live on Fight, live on social media. Subscribe, like, get those notifications turned on. We'll see you tomorrow night live for Primetime Live with Al Snow and the Blue Meanie. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.